You are getting into the movie business, right? You've been doing a few movies. Weren't you doing a movie during the time you were doing the Rockhold fight?
That's right. Yeah, I was filming Triple X. Yeah, I've been out there for about 3 months, and then I was flying home, and I was looking for some walkie-talkies for my 7-year-old. I don't know why. I thought that'd be a good idea. Turns out getting hold of walkie-talkies isn't very easy these days. I went on a fucking wild goose chase trying to get these fucking walkie-talkies that didn't even get played with. He was like, yeah, cool, I've got a phone, Dad. I'm like, yeah, I should have thought of that. But, and as I'm looking for them, I checked Twitter, I got a coffee, and I see Chris Weidman and pulled out. So yeah, I text Dana, I said, listen, if this is true, you know where I am. And he was like, oh great, we love that, blah, 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 blah. But JRE is our first option. So I thought, for a minute there, I thought I was getting a title shot, and I thought, there's no way JRE is going to turn it down. So I went to my buddy Jason's house and watched a basketball game and had a few drinks and, didn't party as such. I was on set the next day, but I had a few drinks. Now, if I knew I was fighting for a world belt in 2 weeks, I would have been on a strict diet, not overindulging, but I definitely overindulged. And then the next day, I'm walking into the gym, just have, just a little light workout, and my phone starts exploding, lighting up like a Christmas tree. And I'm like, what the hell? And then Ariel Helwani calls me. He's like, Mike, Dana just announced on Sports Center that you're fighting for the belt. I'm like, what? What the fuck? This is the first I heard about it. I'm like, fucking Dana.
That is ridiculous.
God bless him. So I'm like, oh shit. So I'm panicking like crazy.
How much did you weigh?
So that's the first thing I did. I ran into the changing room, got on the scale. I was like 215, 216.
Is that rough?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I like to be.
What do you like?
A week before, I like to be 200 pounds. So this is 2 weeks before. I'm 215, so I'm like, shit, screw the weights, I need to run. Right. So I just run out of the gym, throw my backpack on my shoulders, and I'm sprinting through Toronto city centre like a madman. Of course, there's traffic lights every 30 seconds.
Right.
So I don't want to stop at the traffic lights because that's no good. So I'm just running out, nearly getting run over by taxis and jumping over homeless people, falling over, ducking and diving. It was great training. And then Dana called, so I'm negotiating, the fight whilst running through Toronto. And then carried on going, and then I end up like in the middle of nowhere, just running and running and running. And then Jason Perillo gets on the phone, and all the doubt starts creeping in. I start thinking, Jesus Christ, this is so typical of my career. I've won a title fight my whole career, been through many ups and downs, and now here I am. I get the title fight. It's on 2 weeks' notice. I've been filming a goddamn movie. I've been near a gym, MMA gym, for a while doing anything. And it's against somebody that's already beaten me. So I'm kind of destined to fail. This is so fucking typical. And then Jason got on the phone and, he talked me around big time. He said a lot of very positive things. Jason's an amazing coach.
He really is.
He's incredible. He really is. There's a lot of trainers out there. There's a lot of padmen. There's a lot of fakers in mixed martial arts, certainly these days. Mm-hmm. Guys that really have true heritage in martial arts or any kind of steep history in combat sports, they're few and far between.
Yeah.
You can train, any guy can watch a video and it's a little bit of coordination how to hold pads. And you see them, it's all the craze, isn't it, these days? Hitting pads to get fit, 1, 2, left hook, woo! Just because you can do that and hold pads doesn't make you a coach.
Right.
Does not make you a coach, and there's a lot of fakers out there, but Jason is not one of them. He speaks from the heart and he knows what the fuck he's talking about. And we had a good chat, and by the end of it, I was feeling a lot better, and yeah.
So when you were filming that movie, were you working out at all?
I was doing vanity workouts. I like to run, certainly when I'm in a city. So I was running probably 3 or 4 days a week, a 4.2 mile run.
Not too bad.
Yeah,
so you were doing something.
So I was running and I was lifting weights a few times a week, biceps and shoulders.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah, chest press, lots of chest press, you know what I mean? And then GSP's coach, Jorge Blanco. Do you know Jorge?
No, I don't.
He's a very, very, very good trainer. Rashad Evans put me onto him whilst I was up there. I went to see him like 2 or 3 times, but no, not training as such. But yeah,
just
all worked out.
A little bit of exercise, but sometimes that's good anyway, right? So it gives your body a chance to recover.
Well, that's what I said afterwards, because I went into that fight feeling so strong, feeling so good. I'm like, because I consistently overtrained every single fight in my career, apart from that one. And I said, I'll learn from this. I'll learn from this, and you don't. And it's like Jason Perillo always says. It takes confidence to take a day off, to rest the body, you know?
Yeah.
And now, of course, there's a fine line between having the confidence to take a day off and being a lazy bastard and saying, I'm going to sit on the couch today.
Right.
You know, but if you know, listen, I'm good. I'm going to take a day or two off because I need it, you know? So that was one of the mistakes I made with my career. I always trained too much. And Jason said, you know, I used to mind fuck myself because it meant so much to me. You know, my fight career meant so much to me. I used to overcomplicate it, overanalyze it, overwork it, stress myself out with it, you know? And that was hindering my performances. You know, I never once fought to my ability of what I performed in the gym. Never once. I remember one day I pulled up outside Ruka, and Jason was waiting for me outside. And I pulled up, and he says, "Mike, come here. Can we have a quick chat?" I said, "Yeah, what's up?" He said, "Listen, there's a bunch of good guys in there, okay?" He said, "But you're a fucking world champion. Can you go in there and spar these guys and act like a world champion? They're here, you're up there. Act like it. Don't go in, lose your fucking temper, spaz out, stress out, act like a dick, say things you regret. You know, when the sparring's not quite necessarily going your way, you know, you get a little pissed off or whatever, you know, say your jiu-jitsu coach is catching you and tapping you out a little bit and you start getting a little frustrated. He said, can you just, you know, can we have none of that, please?" And great advice. Just like when I was fighting for the belt, when I flew home from doing that movie, I went straight to the gym when I landed, and Jason said to me, because I was always stressed, you know, and he said, "Listen, we don't know if you're going to win this fight, Mike. You know, fingers crossed, I believe in you, I believe you're going to win this fight, but we don't know if you're going to win this fight. So this might be the only time you're ever going to fight for a world title, right?" I said, "Well, yeah, possibly." He said, "Well, let's enjoy the process. You know, let's go through this with a smile on your face." He said, "This is huge." He said, "You're in a position that everyone would kill to be in. You're fighting for the championship. You're fighting for the belt. You've wanted this your whole life. Enjoy this," you know? And it was such amazing advice because I was like, yeah, you're right. And I went through the whole thing with a big smile on my face. And
when you clipped Rockhold, I remember thinking, holy shit. When I see Rockhold's legs buckle and I see him stagger backwards, I was like, holy shit, he got him. And then when he stumbled against the cage and you bashed him and stopped him.
I can't help but laugh because it does bring a smile to my face.
Almost like I couldn't believe it. It was like a movie. It was like it was one of those things because you were a big underdog coming into that fight. Everybody knew you took it on short notice.
Yep.
Everybody knew that you were working on a movie. And so for you to land that, when you landed that left hand, you missed it once before too. And I remember thinking, like, man, that is fucking close. Like, that's close. Like, you saw this opening for that left hand. And you clipped him over the top of the shoulder. He didn't see it coming. Bang! You drop that left hand on his chin. And you see, like, his eyes roll back and his legs give out.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Well, that was the whole plan, the left hook. You know, Jason had seen that he was open for that, and I'd seen he was open for that. And he was even doing this exercise on these bands, or like resistance bands, whatever. He was doing this, and his chin was up, and his right hand was down at the end of it. And Jason said, he's drilling these moves here, and he's finishing here, that left hook, all day long. And, you know, he's coming forward, and we're exchanging punches, and nothing really significant has landed, and I just right hook to the body, just whip the left hook, and you know, as a fighter, when you land a good shot, because you get the feedback on your fist.
Yeah.
There's nothing like it. You know what I mean? When you feel that solid connection and the knuckles go through the glove, you know, and you feel it, you're like, oh, that was a good one. And then, whoa, he falls down. I'm like, holy shit, hold on. And then he gets back up. I'm like, fuck you, boom, back down. And then he went down, and obviously he's got very good jiu-jitsu, and he was kind of sat back against the fence, and I thought, I've got to be careful not to go in his guard, but yeah, I got the finish. The best feeling I've ever felt in my life was Big John McCarthy's gigantic forearm nearly pulling my head off my shoulders as he wrestled me off him. Because
he knew it was over.
Because I knew it was over. It was great.
What did that feel like when you knew you did it?
It one of the best feelings in the world. One of the best, because, you know, for me, you know, the amount of fights I've had is unbelievable, professionally and unprofessionally. You know, when I was a kid, that's all I was. You know, that was my only identity as being a fighter. You know, and just being that guy. You know, unfortunately, rightly or wrongly. Well, it's wrongly. It's wrongly. You know, of course it is. You know, I was a fucking idiot when I was a kid. I was fighting so much, but that's what I clung to. You know, I was a fighter, and that was the only thing that I could draw pride from. You know, and becoming the world champion, knowing that everybody wrote me off, knowing that everyone talked shit about me. You know, other fighters. Just you know, it was everywhere. I heard what people always said about me. Do you know what I mean? So to win like that in style in the first round, yeah, it felt amazing.
There it is, right there.
Oh yeah.
Rockhold was very upset.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. You know,
you talked a lot of shit to him even after you beat him.
well, hold on. My wife was behind me there, and she deserves a shout out, because if it wasn't for her, none of this would have happened. But with Rockhold, with what happened after the fight, there's a few things that I regret that happened after the fight. First of all, I jump on the fence, and I'm just so worked up. I scream, "No, fuck you," whatever. No big deal. I'm not too concerned about that one. And then as I'm doing my like victory dance, if you will, I do a lap of the octagon. And I cross paths with Luke, pardon me. And I'm like, hey, you know, you say whatever you say, you know, unlucky bud, you know, good fight, whatever, blah, 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 blah. I said that, and I carried on having my moment. I was just out of my mind on adrenaline and just having a great time. And then I found myself, I'd done an entire lap of the octagon again, and I was passing him again. So I just thought I'd extend my courtesy one more time. I'm like, yeah, you know, and I put my hand out, and he said, I already shook your hand. I'm like, oh, really? You're still going to be a dickhead? He's like, yeah, I already shook your hand. So then I was like, okay, well, now the gloves are off. I said, don't worry, buddy. You're in an octagon. You've just been knocked out. It's okay. You'll figure it out in a minute. Don't worry about it. You'll come to, bud. You'll be good. So I kind of looked like an asshole because people didn't see that. He refused to shake my hand the second time. You know, I was like, well, go fuck yourself then. And then when you gave me the microphone, I said the most crude comment ever. I'm like, I've been fighting ever since I came out of my mother. I'm like, whoa, that is not an image that I want to portray to the world when I win the world belt. You know, what I meant was ever since I've been born. Right. You know, but in the moment, you know, the words escaped me a little bit, and I painted a rather disturbing image of my mother giving birth to me, but yeah, I didn't choose my words too carefully there. But it was great, man.
Well, you can't be held accountable for that. I mean, there's no one that's ever going to be able to understand that other than someone who wins the title. Yeah, no one's going to know what that felt like. It's impossible.
It was incredible. It really was. It really was. Yeah,
I can only imagine.
It was a good one. It was good.
I'm just happy that for you, you know, having a chance to see all your fights and see your career go for as long as it went, that you did go out with a title. That is a nice
for sure.
thing.
Yeah, you know, I mean, as I say, that was for me. I'm not sure. Well, I wouldn't have retired. I wouldn't have retired yet. Really? You know? Yeah, no, because I know I could still do it. I can still fight now. You know, I can still, but the time was right. You know, and then I started having issues with my good eye.